Hi guys, it's Ameriie, and today I want to share with you guys my 10 most anticipated reads for 2015. Now these are all books that have yet to be released, so I don't have any of them, of course, but I will show you the covers, like in this area here. I'll show you what the covers look like and I'll let you know when they're coming out. These are in no particular order, so yeah. My first book is by V.E. Schwab. I think you guys have heard me talk about Vicious before. I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you, but it's another book that's amazing that she wrote. And this one is called A Darker Shade of Magic. The general premise of the book is that there are parallel universes. So we have multiple Londons, specifically Red London, Black London, Gray London, and White London. I don't know if there are any others. The main character's name is Kel, and he's able to travel between all the parallel worlds. Every month he travels between them and he carries correspondence. You know, I guess it's kind of like an embassy sort of situation. So I believe the world or the worlds are in danger, and he has to somehow figure out a way to save all the worlds. The book sounds amazing. I can't wait. The book is released February 24th, so if you're interested, check that out. More Happy Than Not. This is by my friend Adam Silvera. The book comes out June 16th. And I mentioned this to you guys before, I think in one of my haul videos. So More Happy Than Not is about a boy named Aaron Soto. He's gone through some tragic situations in his life and he wants to forget himself, forget everything. He goes to this institute which has this new technology. He'll be able to make his life better by forgetting those things. He also ends up meeting a boy named Thomas. The friendship really develops and he basically wonders if he really wants to still forget everything. So there's this newfound friendship with Thomas and there's an attraction. However, he doesn't feel being gay is welcome in his neighborhood. So there's a lot of internal conflict. I think the book probably touches too on, you know, who are we, how connected we are to our memories, and what are our memories, are we our memories, that kind of thing. Six of Crows, book 1 of the Dregs trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. It's quite a while for the release. It's coming out October 8th. This is a spin-off series from the Grisha trilogy. I'm not sure if you guys read Shadow and Bone, and it's supposed to be a cross between Ocean's 11 and Game of Thrones. It's about a group of criminals who band together to break into one of the most guarded places in the kingdom. The next book I'm really looking forward to reading is called An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa, Tahir. I could be totally mispronouncing her name. Leigh is an orphan and a slave, and she goes undercover to the Empire's military academy because she's trying to figure out a way to save her brother from execution. There are a group of scholars who actually want to overtake the government. The empire is kind of shaped to be very similar to ancient Rome. In that military academy, she also meets Elias. Elias is the best soldier at the academy. However, he's thinking of deserting the military. From what I can tell, romance and action adventure ensue. Burning Kingdoms by DeStefano. This comes out March 10th. Now this is book 2 of the Internment Chronicles. Book 1 was Perfect Ruin. Internment is a floating landmass. It just floats extremely high in the sky, 30,000 feet or something like that, because they have like their own atmosphere. There's this own protective bubble. You have a group of people who live there. This is a small society. They're told never to go to the edge. There's a train that runs along the entire edge, and they travel, they have their jobs. They do know that there are people in the land below, but it's dangerous and there's a lot of war and death and disease and all these terrible things, which is why most people feel content to live in internment. You do have some people who are curious, of course, and go to the edge. A jumper is basically someone who goes to the edge, jumps over the edge of this huge landmass 30,000 feet in the sky, and somehow bounces back, because you can't jump off and land 30,000 feet down. You somehow are thrown back onto the land and you're just a crazed lunatic at that point. They go mad. So there's a murder and we're trying to figure out what happens. I don't want to tell you guys too much, and again, this is book 1. I'm not even going into book 2 because that would be a super spoiler, but I'm looking forward to it because I read book 1, which I really enjoyed again, so I'm looking forward to that. And here we are with book 4 of The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. I just realized it's really kind of hard to tell you guys about the books I'm really anticipating when they're not standalones, because they're attached to other books that you haven't read yet, so I don't want to spoil you on those. I'm so big on spoilers. I know I'm always saying, oh, I don't want to spoil you, I don't want to spoil you. It's because I'm like a fanatic when it comes to spoilers. Even if someone's like, there's a twist at the end, or oh my goodness, the ending, or I didn't see that coming. I'm like, oh great. Now the whole time I'm reading, I'm gonna be like, so what's supposed to be coming? It's kind of like messes the read up for me, so that's why I'm trying to do my best. And I know I've spoiled a couple of you guys inadvertently in the past because you guys let me know that I spoiled you, so I'm sorry. So I'm trying to be really, really careful about that. But yeah, so The Raven Cycle. The Raven Cycle is one of my favorite series ever. It's book 4 is coming out. I can't believe it because I remember when the first book came out, I was so excited. Okay, how do we do this? I told you guys about Blue Lily, Lily Blue in my, I think it was my November book haul. I gave you the keywords. I'll leave a link over here really quickly so you can check that out. But yeah, what am I gonna tell you about? The whole premise is that Blue has been told by her family, if you ever kiss your true love, he'll die. That's not really what the story is about. That's a small piece of it. Gansey is on this hunt for this buried Welsh king named Glendower in the hills of Virginia. He wants to find the body because if he finds the body, he'll be granted his heart's desire, whatever he wishes. Apparently, the king is buried on these ley lines. Now in this book, ley lines are kind of like this psychic energy or magical energy. They cross and crisscross the entire world. Just side note, ley lines, that's like one theory. In the book it's that, but also some people feel like ley lines are just like magnetic energy and all that stuff, but that's a whole other thing. One day we'll go into that. But it's really, really interesting. It's really cool. The way she brings in fantasy aspects, the way she brings in myth, and then of course action and adventure, and she mixes romance. It's beautifully written. I think she's just one of the most fantastic writers writing today, period. Whether it's YA or adult, fantasy or sci-fi or literary, it doesn't matter. She's just a fantastic writer. So I'm super excited about reading book 4 of The Raven Cycle. It's currently untitled and there's no release date except that it's coming out in 2015. But all of the books have come out in the fall, so I'm expecting August, September, October-ish is when it will probably be released. So this next book is called The Ghosts of Heaven by Margaret Sedgwick. Now, I am really, really looking forward to this one. Seriously, it sounds like it might be one of the most epic reads ever. It comes out January 6th, so I'm telling you that before I even tell you what it's about. It's a standalone book and it's science fiction historical. There are 4 stories that are connected. We start with a young girl in the Paleolithic era. She's creating the first form of writing, and we go from there to the 17th century witch hunts, to the 1920s, to finally a spaceship that's leaving to go explore another world. That just sounds like, I'm just like, mind is blowing. Margaret Sedgwick also wrote Midwinter Blood, which I found really interesting. It was kind of like connecting different stories and different times. This guy goes to this island. He feels like he's been there before. I think it might have won the Prince. Anyway, the stories are all connected. They're really cool. We're starting from the beginning and going to the future and beyond. Obsession, madness. I'm down. Half Wild by Sally Green is coming out March 24th. I'm really excited about this one as well. Now in the world of the Half Bad trilogy, we have white witches and black witches. I know there's always like this thing too, can be very weird because the connotations between white equals good, black equals bad. So I was really happy to see that she made sure to include witches who were part of the African diaspora, okay? Black skin, brown skin actually, as white witches, and Caucasians as black witches, because the white witches and black witches is really about, you know, white magic, black magic and everything. But again, it can be problematic when you have the connotation. She made sure that when she showed the council of witches, you could see that they're of all different races. So you have the main character whose name is Nathan. He's a boy who doesn't know his father because his father is the most dangerous and most violent witch of all time. Nathan wants to find his father. He wants to receive his gift. He can't just grow into it. It has to be something that is given, and he must get his gift from his father. But of course he doesn't know where his father is because there's a manhunt for his father essentially. And the whole question is, his father was so terrible, his mother was so good. What does that make him? How much do our genetics, how much do the sins of our families, how much do they all affect who we are? I'm really looking forward to Half Wild. Jonathan Franzen is one of my favorite authors. If you guys haven't read Freedom, definitely check it out. And actually, I would say to listen to the audiobook, if you can get it from your library or wherever. The audiobook is hilarious. It captured my sister when I was listening to it and she was just passing by and she was like, what are you listening to? That sounds really good. I'm gonna look into that. But anyway, he has a book coming out in September. It's called Purity. All that's being said about it right now is that there may be hints of magical realism. So that's it. But it's Jonathan Franzen, so I will be reading that. Finally, but certainly not least, we have Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. It's book 2 of the Red Rising trilogy. I don't want to tell you guys too much. The essential storyline is that you have Darrow, who is a red. People in society are divided by colors. So there's the reds, the golds, etc., etc. He lives below the surface of Mars, as do all of his people. They've been told that they're terraforming Mars. They've been toiling away for generations and generations, sacrificing to make way for humanity to be able to live on the surface of Mars. However, we discover, and this is not a spoiler, it's not so much of a spoiler because it is on the back cover of the book. But basically we find out that it's been a lie. Mars is fine. Actually, when you go up to Mars, everyone's just like going about their business. There's a city there, people are living, relaxing, entertaining themselves. Meanwhile, the Reds are below the surface, dying, mining, living very short lives, very bleak existences. What happens next? So, those are my 10 most anticipated reads of 2015. I may do another one, maybe like somewhere in the middle of the year, perhaps. So if you like the video, make sure you give it the thumbs up. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave comments below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye!